What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday, March 19th. We are here with the newly named Points of the Crown show. I don't know if it's going to stick or not, but
cool.
We're going to roll with it for a little bit. I am joined here by none other than James from Sketching the Beast. James, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Just hanging out, getting lots of work done. Actually have a little bit extra time at home this week because I'll be at the Cleveland Fan Expo this weekend. So it's like I get a whole extra day to try to work.
Yeah.
Try to get stuff done.
Don't have the whole extra travel day. That always sucks.
Yeah. Well, it's Fan Expo does this. I don't enjoy this about how they run their show is that if you're in Artist Alley, you cannot load in until the day of the show, depending on the show.
Yeah, I think I remember that I think Philly did the same thing, if I recall. Yeah.
Some venues, not a problem. Other venues, problematic. But the real issue is they're saying that like the decorator won't even have the table set up for Artist Alley until Friday.
Oh, weird.
So, I would prefer to go in Thursday, get all my ducks in a row.
Yeah.
But alas, the irritating part is that sometimes if you call their bluff and you just show up, sometimes they'll let you in.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Other times they get real irritated that you didn't read your email. And you're like, no, I read the email. I just
took a chance.
Just didn't care.
Nice.
I know. Was it like Denver's like that? Well, Denver's a little different because they have a full fourth day. They don't do like a 2:00 start. They do like a 10:00 start on Thursday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you have to load in the day before.
Yeah.
What was the other one? There's another one that they did that I get to the hotel, I get checked in, gets Dallas. So I'm just hanging out at the hotel and I start looking at Instagram. And all these other artist buddies that we've got are showing pictures of their booths set up. I'm like, I could have just gone. I don't know.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is. But so what have you been working on this week?
Promoting the Kickstarter, figuring out what's next. Finishing up some sketch cards. I just finished a sketch card set up for the Ultraman Ace series for RR Parks cards. So that is under my belt finally. I could send them out and be done with them. But the Kickstarter is taking up a lot of time. Making sure I'm promoting that and posting stuff. And I still think people are like, I didn't even know you had a Kickstarter. And I'm like, yeah, dude, check it out.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of that. You got, you said you got conventions coming up?
Yeah, so I have, I have a little dinky thing. It's like a college show this weekend. It'll be my first time doing this show, so I'm looking forward to it. Kind of feel that out and like do some promotional stuff. I unfortunately don't have, so I'm doing a Comic-Con exclusive card for this set that you can only get via me at conventions.
Nice.
So I printed. I'm getting those, but unfortunately they're not going to make it here before this show. But I'll have them for the next show, which is Syracuse Collectors Con.
Very cool.
So that'll be fun. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I know. For me, I've been pushing the one I've got. Alice made a big QR code for it and everything, and
yeah,
I have it kind of front and center. So I'm talking to people. Got a few more people clicking into it, but you've got a lot of cool stuff on here. People need to jump on getting these sketch cards. It is the best, most economic way to get custom artwork done.
Yeah. So I have all sorts of options. I mean, you could just get a pack of cards, 10 pack of cards. It's 9 normal cards and 1 holofoil. Or you can get custom cards, custom commission from me. I'm actually in the process of designing what I want that card to like kind of look like. It's not going to be super complicated. It'll just probably be my logo on the front, but the back is what I'm designing. Yeah. So that people can get that. And then there's like all sorts of. I have a whole bunch of stuff. The final tier, which I have surprised. I have one backer. You get a guaranteed every card and a pack of metal cards as well.
Nice.
So metal cards are also part of this tier. And what you see there is only, I think that's maybe a third, maybe 2/3, probably half of the actual cards in the set.
Very cool.
What's up,
What's up,
Dave?
Dave? What's good, man? Yeah, I know there's a lot of folks that when it comes to the cards, there are some that enjoy, being able to get some of the chase cards and the booster packs and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's other folks that are like, I just want the whole set. I don't
Yeah.
want to have to buy X amount of things. Like,
right. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
cool.
It's been a blast. It funded the first day,
Nice.
which I was just like super blown away by. I think within the first 24-hour period, I got funded, so that's great.
Very
I
cool.
literally had one guy come in and just was like, "Yeah, I want all of them. I just want all the cards. Just give me all." And then he to top it off, he got like 5 metal packs as well. So that's like
nice.
So yeah, just blown away. I'm super excited.
There's a lot of collectors out there, man, and retailers too.
Yeah.
I know there was I did a little show. Was it Harrisburg Comic Con? I was next to some card dealers.
Oh, nice.
And they ended up buying some cards just so they could turn around and sell them to their audience. So
that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I didn't even think of doing that as a tier, to be honest. And I'm like, oh, man, maybe that is a good idea.
Yeah. At a minimum, whenever you get around to having these available at shows, showing them to some dealers, I think they'll jump on it.
Rock out.
But
it's a good idea.
Very cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I got sick from Lexington, and I'm like still kind of stuffy from it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was in where the hell was I? Indianapolis. And pretty much just trying to survive the weekend. It was trying to load in, dude. I was so winded. It wasn't even funny. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Not pictured in this setup here was my neighbor, which would have been directly in front of my booth, was a giant set of pillars.
Oh, nice.
It set me back about 10 to 12 feet from the main aisle. So
I
got in. I'm like, let's just get through this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's just make the most of it. I hate the expression, it is what it is, but
yeah.
Like, what are you going to do, you know?
Right.
But ended up having a pretty good time there. Just try to keep my distance from most everybody. And, fist bump instead of handshake if it was a people were insisting on touching me. It's a weird thing that we like have to touch each other to say hi.
Yeah, it is a weird thing.
Those little cartoon aliens that show up on like your Facebook feed, those little comic strips.
Yeah,
it's like they probably have one, but they need a cartoon strip where they're like, now I will touch your skin. Now I will touch your skin. Now that I know your name, I will only judge you by how you touch my skin.
Like, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm tempted to like make my own little
dude,
one and tag them.
You should do it.
It is funny. It is funny. But have you been to Indy Convention Center?
I have not. No. Yeah, Indy's a little bit far, I think, for me.
Yeah, it's a huge floor. I don't know how many vendors there were. The numbers went up to like 4,100 on the signs up above.
Oh wow.
But I don't think that meant that there was 4,100 vendors.
Yeah.
It sure seemed like it.
Oh really? Never ending, huh?
I wish I would have taken more pictures, but I literally was just stay in the booth, minimize walking around.
I don't feel good.
Yeah. But there was a lot of debate as to whether it was bigger or smaller than last year. And I wasn't there, so I could tell you.
Yeah.
But the aisles were huge, and part of the problem when you have huge aisles is that it's really hard to get anybody to stop and talk to you.
Yeah.
People just want to kind of cruise and look, and that I don't know. I ended up hitting my minimum goal for the weekend, but all in all, if this show conflicts with anything else that I've got on the agenda next year, it's lowest on the block, unfortunately.
Yeah. I feel you there. Now, when you say, just to clarify, just when you say your minimum goal, that's a goal that you've set for yourself, not table and hotel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I do is I kind of look at where I need to be for the year and how many shows I'm doing, and I divide that. So average per show, I need to do X amount. I've got a lot of buddies that ride the wave of I got to beat last year's number, and it's like, dude, you're gonna feel the highs and lows of every show if you just want to beat last year's number.
Yeah,
I get it. Like we all want to improve, we all want to get more money and all that good stuff. And frankly, with as expensive as stuff is getting, like you need to make more money. But if I have a phenomenal show where I crush it, I know that I need to squirrel away a certain amount of money because next show might suck. Or God forbid I got really sick and I had to miss a show altogether. So
right. Yeah, that would be awful.
Yeah. So all that to say, we'll be on the road to Cleveland, which is right down the road for me. That's 40 minutes.
Nice.
And
it's a good 3 hour drive, I think, for me. I tried getting into that show, but they were already booked. I was like, dang.
Cleveland is notorious for being a slow Friday. Like a let's see, share this tab instead. I had a buddy cover it for me last year because I got double booked, and I just was texting him just to check up on him from time to time and make sure that he was all right. And he sent me pictures, and it's like dead.
Oof. Yeah.
That's Friday, Cleveland. Very blue collar town. Not a lot of people want to take time off. But I think this year, man, they got like Adam Savage coming.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Some of the Smallville folks. I don't think Charlie Cox is going to be there. I think that's literally just a
just a picture.
But I don't know. Should be good, and the fact that I don't have to pay for a hotel, even better.
Yeah, that's always awesome.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the rest of the shows that are coming up here in a bit. I have several topics to talk about tonight. Chat, you can weigh in on this if you want. We do have some small updates from my Stan Lee Devil's Advocate video. I think Fridays are typically just slower for most shows anyways.
Yeah, I go into a Friday expecting to make not much, honestly, most Fridays. If I make table on a Friday, then it's a great weekend for me.
Yeah, that's typically I want to cover at least one of the major expenses like table or hotel. If I can cover both, even better. That's not a common thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, Denver every day is a banger. It's just that good of a show. Like Thursdays at Denver can be busier than some shows on a Saturday.
That's crazy.
That good.
Wow.
It's just,
need to get into Denver.
It's just like 20 some odd hours away.
Yeah. Denver is far, isn't it?
It's not 20. Close.
It's 20 for you. It's even more for me.
I was literally fighting altitude sickness the first time I went out there.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of where Colorado is.
Just go west.
Yeah.
And when you get sick of going west, you still got a little bit further to go.
I might have said this before, but I feel like Western shows are better. If that makes sense.
I think the challenge you run into in the Midwest to the East Coast is that there's so many freaking shows.
Yeah. Yeah, it's densely populated. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I'm out of Akron, Ohio, and if you draw a 5-hour circle, that's most of my shows.
Yeah. Same.
I mean, I just this last weekend, I mean, I saw probably half a dozen people I just seen the previous weekend. that just they go to whatever they can drive to.
Yeah, I've seen I got a couple of those where I'm like, oh hey, I've seen you at the last show I was at.
One that really threw me off is I saw someone in Atlanta that I just seen the weekend before, and I'm like, where did I see you last? They're like, last weekend. I'm like, I was in Minneapolis last weekend. What the hell are you doing in Atlanta?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
he
funny.
just so happened to be in town for work or something, and
He decided to pop into the local show. Nice.
I guess
That's
so.
funny.
Really threw me for a loop. It's like seeing a teacher out of the classroom, like, you look familiar. I've seen you before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Artist Alley is definitely where you want to head Friday, like, especially if you're getting commission work done. Especially if you're going to be there all weekend. But if you're just there Friday, you definitely want to go in early, get those commission spots rolling.
Yeah.
But so I do have some Stan Lee updates I wanted to talk about. We also have
let's get into the nitty.
Some JFK stuff I wanted to talk about.
JFK.
Yeah, we haven't talked about JFK at all. I just thought it was interesting.
Okay.
And then, of course, later on we'll do some Kickstarter updates. But then there's another video I wanted to check out. We got a lot to go over.
Okay.
Let's see. One more from Dave here. It's busy for me, and I'm only there to shop, I think. I have 2 cons 2 weeks apart. Yeah, if you're getting autographs and stuff, I think that's what's going to be the biggest variable. If you're not getting autographs, it's like a lot of us vendors bounce from show to show. So you're probably going to see a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
But very cool. Let's talk Stan Lee here for a second. Did you see the Tom McFarlane weighed in on it?
Oh no, I've not seen that.
It's very similar to Steve from Clan McDonald had made an update, but it's on Facebook, and I, for the life of me, could not find it. So,
oh man,
it's much akin to what Mr. McFarlane says here, but we'll read it in the big text. I'll use my best Todd McFarlane impression.
Let's hear this.
I had the honor of being able to spend time with Stan Lee over the last decade of his life. It was my great pleasure to have shared many panels together at comic conventions, and I was present at many of his award ceremonies. During that time, I was able to get to know many of the people around Stan during that time. One of those folks was a man named John Bolajak. From all my interactions and conversations with John, I can say from my perspective that he was someone who was always concerned about what was going on in Stan's life at that time. He was also one of the few who tried to do something positive and proactive to help better Stan's last few years when John was able. Well, basically, Mr. Bolajak was a ray of light when there was some dark cloud swirling around Mr. Lee. I wish there were more like him at the time. Todd.
That was a interesting Todd McFarlane accent you did there.
It's not spot on, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't quit your day job, but yeah, it's good, man. It's good.
It's going to be some anonymously British NPC.
What is Todd British?
Yeah,
I think you got a little Scottish in there too.
A little Scottish here and there.
Yeah.
No, that's the biggest problem I have with any kind of voice acting is I can't stick to an accent. It all just kind of.
It's tough. It's tough. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting that Todd actually took time to weigh in on that because, I mean, there's lots of stuff that goes on that Todd doesn't talk about. Like when they awarded that cover deal to the guy that used AI.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I wonder what happened to that. Did they actually publish that cover?
Allegedly, they didn't. Allegedly, they just kind of snuffed it out behind the scenes. I have no idea what happened with that.
Yeah, he definitely should have made a public announcement about that. But.
Yeah. Well, I think, not to go off the deep end in the AI conversation, but I feel like if you're going to accuse somebody of using AI, like, you have to have all the receipts.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. I believe one of their posts back then that said our editors are aware of the situation, and that was like all they said. And that wasn't even from Todd's account. That was from somebody else. So I would have to imagine they went in and looked at his project files and stuff, and they're like, "Hey, dude, literally everything you post says Midjourney on it, except for this one thing that you posted.
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't use Midjourney?" Like, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. Any thoughts on that? Any thoughts, chat? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean that sounds like what everybody else is saying too.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's. I mean, it sounds like he was a good guy. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think the problem is most people have already flown the coop on this Kickstarter in their heads. Yeah.
Yeah, the comment section hasn't got any prettier in there. His funding, let's just take a quick look at that. The funding has gone up. If we jump over here real quick. Last we checked in, I think he was at 48,000, so he's gone up about 17 since last week. He might be able to squeak this out.
Yeah, he might. I mean, like I said, I mean, you got if you got Todd McFarlane, and like I said, I saw it through Ryan Benjamin. I mean, you got some pretty big hitters, you know, saying that this is legit and this guy was a good guy. So I don't know. It might sway people, but
yeah, certainly not anyone in the comment section. Which I think a lot of this just falls into the ballpark of like, do any of us actually have any ground to say crap about anything?
Yeah, right. No.
And then on the internet, like you're supposed to talk crap. That's what you do, right? Well, that's what we're gonna do here tonight, folks.
Nice.
But yeah, they had mentioned that Todd had chimed in, this, that, the other. But these all kind of fall into one of two camps. One is either kind of looked into John, he seems like a stand-up guy, or like, why are you taking advantage of this guy's, I guess, miserable last few years?
Yeah.
There's some people that are asking lots of questions they want answered, especially with the fact that like you're asking for $300,000 and you're not exactly describing what you're gonna do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty vague in there what he says he's using him for, but
no. But this one, this video is interesting though. This kind of gave me some different perspective as to what was going in the last few years. Like I might have heard about some of this, but this would have been what, 2017, 16ish that this was going on.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the handling of Mr. Stanley. But this video is from Dylan Page, who I am 100% trusting that he did his sourcing and fact checking and all that good stuff, because I sure as hell am not. So I believe it was one of these guys that's in the background of that video where he's like, "All right, Stan, we gotta go. We got one more. Gotta do the speech."
Yeah. Oh, you gotta switch back to the video, bud. Are you playing the video right now?
Yeah.
We can't see it.
Oh shit.
There you go.
Okay.
Technical difficulties. It's okay.
Yeah, you gotta click around on stuff, and that's hard, I guess. I forget which one of these guys. One of these guys is like in that video with Stan behind the dumpster. Like, "Come on, Stan, we got like one more."
Yeah. It's that Max guy, I think. Yeah.
Check this out.
Okay. Now, Kia was actually arrested and charged with elderly abuse, forgery, and fraud. Stanley's attorney even had to file a restraining order against Kia, accusing him of taking advantage of Stanley's impaired hearing, vision, and judgment, moving Lee from his longtime family home and preventing family and associates from contacting him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. But the big thing is, what is going on with this guy's set?
I do not know.
Is this what we're missing? Is this like we need to have? Like, you got more going on than I do. You got some lights.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta have something special in the background, I guess. Fancy colors
next time.
Some nice pillars. Yeah.
I'll get some lights next time.
There you go. Yeah.
Something. I like the pillars though. It's a nice touch. I'm not sure what this is.
family
Yeah.
and associates from contacting him. Bro, this guy was charged with false imprisonment. I had no idea what that even was. And when I looked it up, he was accused of moving Stan Lee in the last months of his life to an undisclosed location and cutting off all access to his close friends, staff, and business associates. That is insane. And looking
Were you aware of any of that?
No, I was not.
It's like Britney Spears stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy says that in the video that the guy who's doing the Kickstarter. He's like, you know, him and Britney Spears have more in common than you'd think.
Kind of wild.
Yeah.
Kind of wild. People in the chat, were you aware of any of the stuff that's going on with Stan Lee? This would have been what, 2017, 18, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Oops. Let's see here.
upon this tweet from Stan Lee just 5 months before he passed away at 95 years old.
95.
And it reads, "My only partner and business manager is Kia Morgan, and not all the other people making false claims." He then attaches a video kind of going through all of this. Maybe Alex will play a clip or two.
Rose, it has come to my attention that many people contact other companies or other people trying to get in touch with me. I just want to go on the record as saying I have only one partner, only one person who does represent me, and that's Kia Morgan.
What you don't see is off frame is a Kia Morgan with a handgun pointed at him.
Oh,
Like,
jeez.
say it.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah. Yikes, dude.
I shouldn't be joking.
I won't let you talk to your daughter this week.
Dude, it's pretty messed up, man. Like, that was the one comment that John had made on that one podcast that I was showing, that interview last week, where he said Stan kind of just went along with stuff. He trusted people to be guiding him the right way, and I think most folks are like that, but especially when you're elderly and you don't know any different.
Right.
So.
Yes, Stan seemed like that kind of guy who was like, very trusting of the people around him, and it just seemed like he was that charismatic kind of guy. And I definitely think he's had his issues with people and whatever over the years, but I don't know. I feel so bad, dude. Like, I wish. Yeah, this kind of stuff is awful. Like, and to be the evil person that's like, entrapping him and this Stan doesn't know what's going on. He's just like, oh, everybody's on vacation, or my daughter's not calling me, she must be mad at me, or you know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's awful. That's awful.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll never get the whole story, but let's go just a little bit or more.
Knowing you is one of the greatest honors of my life. Like Michael Jackson used to always tell us, Stan is the greatest writing genius alive and the psyche of children around the world. Love you, brother. Kia was also accused of stealing money from Stan, withdrawing large sums of money from his account, and the list goes on. Now, when these accusations actually went to trial, he was found not guilty by an LA court. Kia Morgan walked away free with no conviction. He did not serve any jail time related to the case, and all charges were dismissed or dropped after the trial.
The plot twist, not guilty.
Yeah. Wow.
Which leads me to believe what I was saying last week, that it sounds like Stan just agreed to a really bad deal.
Yeah.
If you agree to a bad deal, you are stuck in a bad deal. And you either breach contract, which usually has termination fees and all this stuff. You can get sued, you name it. Or you get strung along forever. And especially if you signed over things like for your manager to be the one that handles your money or your phone calls or your whatever. If you sign off on that, then I don't know.
Yeah, yikes, dude. Yikes.
So yeah, that's your plot twist in the whole thing. I know there's more. We're not going to watch this whole video. If you want to check it out, go over to Dylan Page's website or YouTube channel, I should say, and check this out. It's only 12 minutes. There's more on here. He does go a lot into the comments.
Liberty.
That's a Liberty Mutual commercial, and it's really loud too. So I'm not going to click around on that. I don't think the Kickstarter comments should weigh in on whether or not you support this thing. I think it's anyone's guess at this point.
Yeah. It's a wait and see kind of thing. Like, if it kickstarts, we'll see it. We'll find out. If not, then
yeah,
man. I don't know. I'm sure it'll end up in Netflix once it's done or something.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that he talks about on here is why go the Kickstarter route when there's so many other routes that you could go. I think part of the challenge is as soon as you start selling to like a Netflix or to whoever, you start losing creative control and possibly start losing control of the assets that you recorded.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. So let that be a lesson. If you ever become the creator of a multi-billion-dollar media franchise group, make sure you get your paperwork figured out.
Yeah. Get good lawyers. It's the more you have up front legally, the less you got to deal with in the back later.
Exactly. Necessary evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Chris? What's good,
Yo.
man? Just be chatting. Y'all are keeping me company during workout. There you go. Well, hey, dude, if you want to join the call, just let me know. I can message you the link if you want to jump in. So yeah. What was it? There's something else I had with this, and it's completely escaped my mind. But
oh no.
Wild stuff. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Is he is doing a bit of a podcast tour right now, this John Bowlerjack fellow.
Okay.
So he has jumped on several other YouTube channels, podcasts, that sort of thing. So if you guys are interested, just look up John Bowlerjack. I don't know how much more we're going to talk about this guy, but I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? What's up, Mikkel? What is good?
Yeah, what's up?
How did I don't think I caught you towards the tail end of Sunday. How did Sunday wrap up for you? I feel like Indy was down for just about everybody. So yeah, we also had. How much do you want to talk about JFK? I don't want to talk about him that much. He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. I didn't know there was anything to talk about.
He's literally dead. This is not as as much as we got into the passenger pigeon thing. I feel like the JFK thing, like it's already been beaten to death.
Yeah.
And it turns out they haven't released all of the files yet.
Oh.
Apparently, there's another giant clump of files coming that may or may not have more juicy details. Have you looked into it at all?
I have not. No.
So there's only a couple details that really have come out that have kind of been interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
One is that they have even more files confirming that the CIA was tracking Oswald for quite a while. I think it was 180 pages of material that they had leading up to the week before, and they knew that he was going to Texas. So it's like you knew about him, you knew he was an issue, you were tracking him all over.
Yeah.
Might as well go let him get as close to the president as possible.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So that's interesting, but there's no direct proof that he was Manchurian Candidate or anything.
Yeah.
And then the other bit, and this one's a bit controversial, so I'm not going to get too far into it. Allegedly, on one of the pages, they talk about what needs to be redacted from the different JFK files. And there's a certain country that they say we don't need to redact names of such and such, but everything in regards to, I believe it was the Israeli intelligence, needs to be redacted. I'm probably misquoting all this, but it's why is Israeli intelligence involved?
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
At that point, they'd barely been a country for, I think it was 15 years or something like that, coming out of World War II.
Yeah.
So very strange. there's going to be more strange stuff that comes out. But guys, JFK is dead. If there's one thing that I learned from reading the documents, he's cooked.
Yeah.
Dead.
Makes sense. Yeah. I think that's how the history books told it too.
I'm not the best at breaking bad news. But guys, if you're just finding out,
sorry.
It was in the documents that were released. And I come to you with hat in hand, just saying, hey, sorry for your loss. Add one other big topic tonight, unless you guys in the chat have any questions, is there was another YouTube video our dear friend Inkwell had put out. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but wanted to bring this up. It's different ways that artists are making money and what they're doing about their expenses, their taxes, their income, all that good stuff. This Mr. Inkwell is really on it.
He really is. He really is.
Makes me like think about my life, like what am I contributing to society?
And he says he's a lazy person. He's
Dude,
like, I like to be lazy, so I don't want to do all this
he's
stuff.
doing way more than I am.
Yeah, dude, he's doing a good job, man. He's doing a good job.
Yeah. So guys, I'm going to load up this video here. We're not going to watch the whole thing. If you want to watch it, check out Inkwell. But
yeah,
what are some of the top ways that you guys are making money? For me, it's like if you kicked out my legs underneath me from conventions, I would be in trouble. I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. The ways that I make money is my full-time job, but yeah, conventions are really my only source of art income, other than occasionally making a couple bucks here and there off of commissions and whatever else not. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Friends in the chat, if you want to chime in with some of the ways that you're making money out there. Promise I'm not with the IRS. Promise we're not going to report these different revenue. Dude, one of the things I wasn't ready for this year was the amount of 1099s I was going to have to fill out.
Oh, wow.
So, obviously, if you're using Square to, swipe credit cards and stuff, they send you a 1099 for all the Kickstarter sends them. Any major revenue stream that you've got, you're going to get a 1099, and you got to fill those suckers out.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't dealt with that yet.
Yeah, so while you're getting your lawyers in line for your inevitable collapse as a 95-year-old man, you might also want to find a couple accountants to take care of you. So let's get this rolling here. First off, nice Pedro Pascal.
Oh, is this the Apple commercial?
To get into some of the better shows within the United States, sales across the board for artists not being as.
Is he changing hats every time? Is that what's happening there?
But what?
Oh my God!
I think so.
A total of 130.
Maybe. It
does
look different. He got a haircut. That's what it was.
So number one, we need flashier backgrounds, pillars, lights. You've already got lights.
Yes, I got the lights.
You're good on lights. I've got one hat. We need more hats.
Yes.
Anyone in the chat, can you provide feedback one way or the other?
Yeah. What do we need?
As far as hats, pillars, what do you want to see more of in our videos?
$34,500.
Holy.
In 20.
All right. So I'm gonna. If I was your IRS agent, James, and you brought these numbers to me, what would you be most afraid of me bringing up right now? This is how much money he made at conventions.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's just talk about let's talk about how very specific this first number is. We have $99,581.22. It's a very on the dot number.
Oh, yes.
And then your cash number.
Yeah.
This is again a very on
$35,000.
Very
on the dot. Yeah, where's the pennies and nickels and dimes and dollars?
Very specific number. Brought in exactly $35,000 cash.
I didn't even catch that. It's funny. How much of this is under the table?
Hey, Mr. IRS guy. Hey. Might be all right. This isn't financial advice. It's not even legal advice. I'm just a guy with one hat.
Yes.
One hat, no pillars.
I'm just a guy with lights.
If you're gonna put a number on the cash amount, maybe not make it exactly on an even number like that.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it was like $35,100, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
That looks like you're actually looking at something.
Yeah.
If you're spitballing the number 35,000, then
Yeah,
it's probably more.
Did you round up or did you round down?
Did you even count?
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
Nah.
Just
I would make for a real jerk of an IRS agent. You're like, what'd you do here?
Yeah.
Now this is I don't remember what they said the average was for. Do you remember what he said the average convention goer was making, or convention artist?
I want to say it was like 40 something. It was like between 30 and 45,000.
I think this is like this is the top percentile.
Yeah, he's a 1%er.
1%er.
He's a 1%er.
You can afford these hats.
Yeah.
Just need some pillars.
Video. Just trust me, bro. Trust me, bro.
I already don't trust this guy,
bro. I did a total of 16 events this year, and the income from these ranged drastically.
16
I had one
events.
event where I actually lost money at, and then
he's doing roughly 10,000 a show ish.
Made over 25K at another one. So all of these are between those ranges. This is the first year that I've made.
He has such a small booth. I don't understand how he's making 10 grand out of such a small booth. He's selling meth.
I think out of the 200 he's saying he made, or whatever the heck, or 135 he made, that's everything for him. That's online sales. He makes a lot in online sales.
No, this is just conventions right here, what he's talking about.
Oh, is it?
He breaks it down into his online sales.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I think he must be selling drugs. I haven't tried selling them myself. Could be why he has such an even number.
Yeah.
Friends in the chat, if you have sold drugs at a show, if you want to chime in.
The prints are just to cut the powder with. That's all they're for.
Goodness, man. Yeah. Now, I feel like conventions. If I had known earlier on in my artistic career that conventions were sort of your, if you can get your table figured out and your marketing figured out, I think I would have jumped on it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
I tell you my first potential convention story that I turned down that sent me down a completely different walk in life.
Oh, I don't think so. I've not heard this recap.
Yeah. So when I was like maybe 20-ish, there's a guy that reached out to me. He's actually very famous in the board game world now. At the time, he was not famous. He was growing his business, and he reached out saying, "Hey, I'm making a card game. I can't afford to pay you. But when I get prints of the game made, I'll pay you in copies of the game. Feature one of it's a picture that was already done on DeviantArt. He just wanted to use it for one of the characters. And he said, plus I really like your stuff. If you're interested, I'm not extending this to everybody. I'm going to be doing, I think it was Dragon Con down in Atlanta. He's like, if you want to come down to Atlanta, I'll give you a spot at the table if you want to bring some art and some prints to sell."
Oh, wow.
At the time, I was selling my plasma to pay the bills. And I'm like, the thought of, number one, it wasn't even on the table. Like, I can't afford to get there, let alone stay in a hotel, let alone,
Yeah.
So I let him use the picture, and I got a few copies of the game. The guy's name is Kurt with Smirk and Dagger Games. They do a ton of board games, card games. Like if you go to Origins, they're like one of the biggest booths there.
Oh, wow.
But when I knew him, we were talking about sharing an 8-foot table.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm too good to go to Atlanta. No, it's more like I can't afford it. And the thought of driving anywhere and spending time with a stranger was more anxiety than I could deal with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that sucks.
that's when I gave up on art. But I
You
did.
came back around. You came
I
back
did.
around.
For years, I was like, this is a fool's errand. We can't do that. Chris chimes in. He says, dude, I didn't start doing shows until I was 43. Didn't even know there were shows.
That's crazy.
I certainly didn't know there were as many as there are. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. There are a lot. There are a lot. It's funny to think that there are so many shows, and some of these shows, they're so booked up that it's hard to get into. But that's how many people are trying to get into these shows.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
And the prices are only going up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. One of the things, I was talking to another buddy that was at Indianapolis, I hadn't seen in a while, is
Mhm.
there's a certain part where you can start doing the guest spots. Now, not all guest spots are created equal. Some of them you just get a 6-foot table and good luck. Like Lexington, your guest spot's a 10 by 10 booth.
Oh wow,
Like it's a big chunk of territory you get.
that's cool.
I have not personally looked into guest spotting. I feel like I need more space and more consistency than, what a lot of these places are doing.
Wait. Do you apply to be a guest, or I always thought that they asked you to be a guest.
It can happen in a number of ways. Like C2E2 actually has a spot, and a lot of these conventions do, where you can recommend guests.
Oh,
So if there's someone that's popping off, in the indie world, or there's just an artist that hasn't done many conventions, you can go in there as a fan and recommend them.
that's cool.
So that is a thing. And then you can also go through the, which I have no idea if it's worth time and effort this day and age, but you can also get an agent, and agents can book you and get you in places.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Then you're also splitting
right.
a bunch of your money.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's a chunk of change.
yeah, and then you end up behind a dumpster with some guy named Kia trying to force you to I don't think any of my Stanley jokes are landing.
I got it.
Too soon.
Yeah,
Too soon?
no, you're good. It's sorry. It's good timing.
I feel like this is all going to come back to bite me. Steve's an insensitive jerk.
That Steve guy, ban him from all shows.
It's true. I can be an insensitive jerk. I also, my sense of humor is kind of not good. Chris also says it's crazy. Wish I was doing this in my early 30s. I feel like if I was doing this either in my early 30s or early 20s, I would already have liver failure. The amount of after parties and everything else, I would probably be dead.
After parties. Do you go to after parties?
Dude, I haven't been to an after party for a show in quite a while.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done an after party. Ever.
If by after party you mean dinner.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes I do get a bag of food on the way to the hotel. Sometimes I do just that.
Yeah.
I won't have this head cold to blame much longer. I feel like I'm on the tail end of it. I've still got a little bit, but I think I'll be cleared up for this weekend. But yes, I will use the head cold as my lapse of judgment for everything else I say.
Perfect. Good call, Chris.
So yeah, conventions definitely big chunk of money, but it's like I tell everybody, man, it's like these conventions don't owe us anything. Like
No.
you could spend $1,200 on a booth, you show up and the power's out, or there's a gun threat, or they put you behind a giant set of pillars. Like anything can happen.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of people turn to online sales.
Bing, Redbubble, those types of websites that will do those things for you. Typically, I try to steer away from those types of sites just because I feel like the profit margins they give you is a bit scammy, and the quality control.
Commercials, I swear. Guys, if you want to sponsor me so I can get YouTube Premium and not have to deal with commercials, it'd be fantastic. Cal chimes in. She says, "Remember last year I had like 4 booths that had I've never seen someone with as much bad luck as Mikkel when it comes to pillars.
Oh wow.
In fact, I showed up to a show and the booth next to me had a giant pillar right in the middle, and I had to text her a picture. And I'm like, "Is this your booth?"
God,
She wasn't even
no.
doing the show. That was Akron Horror or something like that. And I'm like, that
That's
would be
funny.
her luck.
That's-
Her booths have literally been that bad.
Oh, that's awful.
So Chris has actually gotten some pretty rough ones too. Columbus has like the worst pillars. They got like these giant junction boxes on them that stick out like 8 feet.
Oh God.
It's terrible. You can have volume on.
Has a good experience. Now, the unfortunate part about this is I have to do a lot more of the work. Lazy Dustin doesn't like this. And Lazy Dustin hasn't been making a lot of new products because Lazy Dustin doesn't like to promote new products and try to push sales on social media where the
Am I
majority
high?
of online sales
No.
kind of come from. I just want to do my little doodles at home and not worry about anything. So
Yeah,
my
this video's
online
a
sales
little
have
weird.
definitely suffered
Weirdly
a little
edited.
bit since the last update.
All right. I don't do a whole lot of online sales.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Um,
Zero. No one even looks at my website unless you're from Bangladesh.
yeah, right.
Or India.
And then
They look at my
want to
website
scam
all
you.
the time. I get hits all the time from them.
You're probably getting was it the VPN traffic?
Something, man. I don't know.
Or you're getting scammed, one of the two.
Yeah, I don't know. But they go onto the website, they look at it, and then they leave or leave a comment with some sort of link on it. And that's it. That's what they do. That's what they do.
It is nice if you get a decent pop on an online sale, but I think all of the fellow artists in the chat can attest to this. When you get home and you've got like 3 days before you have to go do another show, and then you get an order for like 1 print, and you have to like go pack up 1 print. Like you don't want to be ungrateful, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to be like, I'm too good for $20. But when you're driving down to the post office, it feels like I'm too good for $20.
Yeah.
It certainly feels like that.
I don't know what it is, but we all seem to struggle with that. Driving down to the post office, dropping off our stuff. It is a huge issue. For me, I will admit that I will have a package sitting on my table for a week, sometimes more, before I drive my lazy bum to the post office, which is 10 minutes down the road, not even, and drop it off. I don't know what it is.
Are you printing labels at home?
Yeah.
Okay. For the longest time, I wasn't. So I would have to stand in line and wait and all that, and it was awful.
Yeah, it's a hassle. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. I'd rather print it on a piece of paper and tape it than deal with that.
No.
Honestly.
Well, whichever Kickstarter it was, I ended up buying a scale and all the packing material and all that good stuff. So now it's like, even then, like after you pack it all up, you drive it down there. It's like I try to find it so I'm on the way to doing something else that I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes the venom out of it.
Just getting it into the car. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to know what keeps Chris in check? Amazon.
Nice.
Keeps me in check. I have shit next day. Keeps him in check.
Oh, do you do Amazon? What's that called? FBA or whatever? Or?
There's I know there's some people. Amazon is also very strict about like the what do you want to say, like the copyright stuff, fan art stuff. Chris does a lot of monsters and cryptids and stuff like that is in the public domain.
Yeah.
And he was telling me at one show that like Amazon Handmade, there you go, their version of Etsy.
I had not I didn't know they had that. That's cool.
Apparently, if you want to stay on the like in good graces with Amazon, you literally have to have stuff shipped like within 24 hours.
Wow. I would fail.
Yeah. I There was I'm probably gonna butcher this story, but there was a story of there was a gal that was kind of in the convention scene. She wasn't doing nearly as much as some of us were, but she had a pretty decent online business.
Mm-hmm.
And then she popped the algorithm. She was making like those spooky fall ghosts and pumpkins and stuff. They're like cute, spooky ones.
Mm-hmm.
And like her orders shot into like the thousands of orders instead of like tens of orders, to the point where it's like, what do you do? Like, good problem to have.
While she was at the show?
I don't know if she was at a show or where she was. I'm hearing this story is probably fourth person or fifth person by the time it got to me. But like,
yeah.
Just imagine you go from like, okay, I have 3 things I got to pack up this week, to like, you have 3,500 things to be shipped within like the next 48 hours.
Yeah.
You don't even physically have the material, let alone.
Yikes, dude.
Yeah.
What do you do? I mean, especially if you have to ship it the next day, like that's even worse. Like,
I think at that point, like, you almost have to contact, if you don't have the means to start fulfilling that, you almost have to contact one of these print shops and be like, hey,
yeah,
you want to make a quick buck?
Right.
Because what else are you going to do?
Right. Yeah. Yeesh.
You go from having 5-star rating on Amazon or Etsy or whatever you're doing to trash because everyone's like, it's been a week, where's my stuff?
Right.
Come on. Go.
You'd almost have to go to Staples and buy yourself another printer or whatever, you know?
A couple printers.
Yeah. You'll have a whole print shop in your room, and you're like,
that's what's back here.
Yeah.
I got that printer. I got that printer. I got another printer in a suitcase.
Nice.
Hey, I actually got to start printing stuff. The real problem I have right now, this is like total first world problems, is that I bought a MacBook Pro, and it only has the USB-C ports on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a converter to proper USB.
Mm-hmm.
I had one. Where'd it go? Couldn't tell you. Probably lost it when I had a head cold. But I have a bunch of stuff to print, so I had to like urgent next day order the adapters that I need.
That sucks.
Because I can't print anything, and I need to print stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah, exciting story. Again, I have all the exciting stories. So online sales, they're bogus. Don't do it. No one exists. The internet's dead. Have you heard of the internet, the dead internet theory?
And it's mostly bots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of dead accounts. Like people that have literally died that have accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not to mention the bots.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you trust them?
Right. Yeah.
Don't sell online, kids.
Right.
Don't do it. That's probably the worst advice I could give. Here's this guy talking about the industry,
which we will
in
talk
different
about here in a moment. But what if the type of work you do isn't always the most consumable to, say, a general audience?
I don't think you can consume any of my work without having problems. I don't know who tunes in for this kind of content.
Or a marketplace.
My content, I should
say an industry drop. Well, do I have bad news for you? Because the industry is in turmoil. Animation jobs are very rare at the moment and pay not very well. And gaming is also on a decline, especially if you want those coveted.
Did you ever want to get into animation?
Once upon a time, but it wasn't top of my list. No.
I feel like artists that want to do animation where you're literally hand drawing every cell, I feel like that's got to be, I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something broken in there that you want to draw the same character literally 1,000 times.
Yeah.
That's rewarding, I guess, because it looks great when you're done if you didn't screw up.
Yeah, unless you're the animators behind Invincible and everybody hates you.
No. What's going on with that?
The internet whines and whines and whines as usual. It's a lot of backlash about how low sell it is, and it's very basic. Nothing's dramatic. Like lighting is very just plain
it's very flat.
Yeah. But I mean, people are like, then they're comparing it to these like super blockbuster anime shows and movies, and it's like, well, dude. First off, if you're comparing it to a Japanese or Chinese or any of those animes, it's like those guys work sweatshops to do animation, and they,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is that they love to do it. I mean, good for them that they love to do that for what they get paid and what they do in their budget. But those guys are treated like in most cases kind of like poo. Whereas the Amazon show Invincible, they had like this really small budget, and they're all people working American jobs, most of them, and there's like, I think it's a whole team of like 12 of them doing a whole season of shows that are an hour long each episode.
No.
So it's a lot. And I mean, yeah, do we all wish that the animation could be better? Everything could always be better.
No.
But just enjoy the content for what it is. People are like, well, I might as well read the comic book. Well, then go read the comic book.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, the challenge is when I read a comic book and I try to do voices, they all sound British or
right.
Golly, it's a problem. Chris says, all right, back to working out, but first I had to wash my antibiotics down with a beer. Hell yeah. And he's just like Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's going and bash beer on your head.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the best idea, but
yeah.
And then gonna go work out.
Yeah. I actually bought some animation programs for the iPad.
Yeah.
I have this like lofty goal, not to like, I saw Loft 817. I said lofty goal, and I think my brain connected something there. Not a pun. I'm just very simple, I think is what I'm saying. I had this goal that I wanted to like do some animations for some of my Kickstarters, and I'm like, I'm going to do a lot of work for something that doesn't exist anywhere other than a trailer.
Yeah.
Or a Kickstarter. Right. Maybe I don't do that.
Yeah. You'd almost have to do a Kickstarter just for the animation part for the Kickstarter, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. A lot of time.
I would love to, though. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm jealous of animators because they actually have the willpower to sit down and draw all those pictures, and I do not. Yeah. But the industry in general, the point he's making here is that the industry for artists, I think it depends on where you're at and what you're trying to do. But everybody's trying to cut cost right now.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
Yeah, I just saw a trailer that came out for a game, for Ark Survival something.
Yeah.
The company has the game Ark out now. It's like Ark Evolved or whatever it's called. I guess they're coming out with a new game or whatever, a new season. Anyways, they didn't spend any money on the animation for the trailer for it because it's all AI, 90% AI, AI video, and people are just pooping all over it because it looks awful. It looks awful. It's animated like awful. It does not look good. And so far, the consensus is that it's bad.
Well, now I want to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. Look up Ark AI trailer. I don't actually know what the game's called.
Yeah, I just clicked on Ark AI.
Steve here to celebrate Ark's
Let's see, show it.
Anniversary. Snail Games for public.
Oh, that's part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, you could tell it's AI. Oh, that's the end of it, though. I think.
Maybe I need to back up a little bit.
Yeah. I like the Dr. Evil thing.
No context, Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Ark has brought you 10 years of unforgettable adventure.
Yeah, it's AI.
All of those
like
journeys, those fights for survival. Leading to this. Are you ready?
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
The thing though is that like if you're watching on this on your phone during a lunch break,
yeah,
like you're not gonna know the difference.
Yeah. I mean that might actually be actual game footage. Who knows? But that definitely isn't. Just has that AI look to it. And it's like, are you underwater or where are you? That he's walking, but there's that doesn't make sense. But Yeah.
Is he gonna say, "How about no"?
Right.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, you're gonna see more stuff like that go to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There was another artist I heard that he is starting to implement and has been implementing AI for like he uses them for thumbnails and he uses them for stuff that he doesn't want to draw himself, and the art in itself wouldn't generate revenue anyways. Like
Okay.
just like if you're doing a blog post and you just want a quick shot of something, he's using it almost like clip art. And in his mind, his justification is that he's not taking money away from anything. He is just inserting art where art wasn't going to be anyways. And I'm like, well, if you paid someone to make the art, it would be there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't know. People are going to justify AI even more as time goes on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was even clicking through Kickstarter the other day, and I'm like, yep, there's more stuff with AI covers. It's out there.
Dude, it's bad, man. It's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how like my trading card set, there are AI trading card sets out there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I almost forgot it. I should probably update it at some point and just like put it somewhere. Like this is not AI artwork. This is all whatever. But yeah, dude. Woof.
Yeah. The challenge though is that like you look at a lot of other creative fields where you're not just generating an image, so this doesn't fit what I just said, but like tattoo artists, like I was just at a tattoo convention. They have a seminar that's going to be going on at their Chicago show where they said over the loudspeaker that tattoo artists, I know AI is controversial, but it's here and our clients need artwork. We're going to be talking about how to implement AI with what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, it's just going to get more and more ingrained in what we do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Music studios are going to be using it more. I don't know, man. It's like, I was messing around with I've got like a little loop generator thing that I use, in GarageBand or whatever to make, for a lot of my Kickstarters, I'll actually make my own songs to play for the
way to do it.
Trailers.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit of time, but it's fun. Exercises a different creative muscle,
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, if you wanted a certain beat, instead of searching through all these different loops or like making it on yourself, you could just type into a prompt, say, I need a 4 on the floor beat with a deep 808 kick, and it'll just spit it out. And you can drop it right in.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't already exist, it's gonna.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a music producer, that saves a lot of time. And from buying all the software instruments, saves a lot of money. So we should all embrace AI. We should let it dominate everything. We should quit thinking where we have to. Oh, we got Michael in the background. How long have you been waiting back here, Michael? What's going on here? What's up, Mike? Didn't see you sitting back there, man. How you doing?
Forever.
Oh man.
Has it been a while?
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
No, yeah. I don't know, man. Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
You guys still dominating.
Get Allen in there.
Yeah, man.
I like it. Mikkel says, unfortunately, I started a game recently that I shall not name because I cannot 100% tell, but I suspect it uses AI quite heavily in it. It's kind of turned me off, to be honest. Glad you're being honest with us here. You can be honest. You can be honest and tell us what game it is. I won't tell anybody. Other than
other than everybody who listens to the video.
Yeah. But
AI can't touch.
That's it.
Can't touch nostalgia. So, James, I was talking to you. We were talking about the potential, the possibility of trying to bring back the Ashcan comic book.
Yeah.
especially for if you're going to conventions and everything, have an ash can there instead of your business card, or instead of a what are they called? One of those squares, right?
Tap thing or
but-
the QR code.
Yeah, the QR code. So you have a work in progress already in your hands. You have all your socials on the interior or the back cover. Everything is very, very simple. 8.5 by 11. Turn it horizontally and print out your books. And you'd probably be able to print out, I don't know, depending on how many pages you want to showcase, but to show everybody that it's in a work in progress. You don't have to get them on the computer. They have it right then and there. They can just go straight to the Kickstarter, sign-in list or whatever, sign-up sheet, and then you'll have a groundswell of fans right there.
Yeah.
And they'll have something tangible. So
what was what show was it? There was one here recently where they were making a big deal because there were some secret ash cans that you could pick up.
Ooh,
where was that? That wasn't New York last year. It might have been at MegaCon. But there was allegedly a handful of big name artists in the industry that they had these limited run ash cans for the exact reason, bringing back some of that nostalgia.
Yeah, that's cool.
But you had to you couldn't just go to one artist and get it. You had to go to an artist that would give you a business card that said something special on it, then go to another. There was this secret little scavenger hunt almost.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would get people talking to artists, right?
Yeah.
Just give me the freaking ash can.
I'll give you $50.
You know how many lines I had to stand in? How many people I had to push past just to get to you?
Dude, especially in New York, right? I've heard horror stories where a person can't get to their panel in a 40-minute time frame.
Oh, wow.
If going from one end to the convention center to the other, it's impossible. So.
Yikes.
That was one of the big complaints people had at MegaCon. Because it's one very long hall, and they have a bunch of celebrities on one end, and then all the way on the other is the exit to where the panels were, I guess.
No.
And people were complaining that, you needed, 40 minutes just to walk across the floor. And it's not fun, but.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Get your steps in that weekend.
Yeah. I don't know, Mikkel, you might know, from a attendee standpoint, someone was saying that they were allowing people to bring in food and drinks. You didn't have to eat the convention food if you didn't want to. You could bring in a Subway sandwich.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it's $20 for a slice of Papa John's pizza.
Yeah, that's outrageous, dude.
And it wasn't even real Papa John's pizza from what I could tell.
Yeah, that's probably
I could be wrong. It was something. Let's see. I want to check out just a little bit more of Inkwell here. Yeah, it's very strange that they allow that. You would think as much as they have prohibited items on the floor, that sandwiches is okay. By Mike.
Oh, yeah, weird.
Oh, get out of here. Freelance work. We've both had our run-ins with freelance work.
Cards that have released recently. The payment per card or per project shifts a bit depending on complications and depending.
Any thoughts on this? Picking up contract work, freelance work.
I mean, yeah, it's good. It's good, right? It pays a bill or two. There's no residual beyond that, though. I think he makes that point too. Is just you do the work, and then in his case, right? He's got a major deal with a major company that people are actually doing. So he has, he's kind of got a residual from it because people come around and oh, can you sign my card? And he charges them to sign it. But yeah, no, that's kind of how I feel, right? If I do sketch cards for a company, I get paid, per card or whatever. The same thing with Upper Deck and stuff. The return, the instant return is pretty much nothing. I mean,
Right.
you get a couple bucks for the time you did, and most often, like especially with sketch cards, don't get me wrong, I like doing them, but the return is like pennies on the dollars for what you're working. I mean, you're making like $1 an hour doing these sketch cards. So yeah, it's tough. I mean, I guess it really depends on it, but it's not my favorite thing.
Yeah. I anytime that I have someone at a show that wants to talk about doing like, hey, can I contract you like hourly to work on like concept art and stuff? I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any thoughts on that, Michael? Freelance work, contract work?
I would say, like, if you're going to go ahead and try to get more on the sketch cards, just go ahead and make the sketch cards bigger and charge more.
There you go.
Then it's
Make
like
them like 9x12 or 11x17.
Yeah.
right around there. Yeah. The only thing that would have to really change would be the sleeves that they would go in, but I believe it makes sleeves that size.
You can use like saran wrap, I think.
Yeah. And
Nice.
the concept work, no, I mean, that's easy right there. You're like, dude, are you going to start drawing anytime soon? Well, dude, it takes time for this to think, you know. 15 minutes into it, just sitting there thinking, that's easy money.
Yeah. About 20. I was really gonna let this one soak in.
I'm trying to give you your money's worth here, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't want to rush me.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. They make that comparison. I see that comparison all the time on the internet. Is like hourly work for a job versus per job, work or whatever. And like you see the guy who's doing it hourly. He's like he's taking his time. He's he's taking a break, and then he's like getting back in, and he's like, oh well, I gotta do this. Versus the guy who like get paid by the job. He's like he gets paid by the job. The sooner he finishes the job, he makes that money, right? So yeah, there's a huge difference versus hourly versus per job type of thinking, I guess. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, some people don't like to look at the work in progress. I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Sure.
I for the most part, freelance stuff doesn't really excite me. Contract stuff like that. But teaching, no, I've heard more people get into like teaching. This Inkwell fellow.
And although I love the interactions I get with students,
does he talk about like what kind of classes he's doing?
All that,
he was teaching at a college,
especially within.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't teach at a college.
Yeah,
I mean, I could. I just put doctor in front of my name. Call me Dr. Steve Messenger.
Yeah, he was teaching at like an art institute or something, and he said he loved doing it, but his obligations for everything else and his financial situation called for him to not be able to continue doing it just because conventions and stuff take up so much of his time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You guys watch South Park at all?
I used to.
There's an episode where Cartman's trying to reach these kids. It's like, how do I reach these kids? That's all I think of when I think of teaching.
Nice.
Let's see. I have heard people asking about mentorships. Mikkel says, I've seen a lot of artists lately offering paid mentorships. That's kind of what you were doing, right? With Mr. Benjamin?
Me?
Yeah.
Like I was paying him to learn from him? Yeah. Yes. And you can still do that. I'm not advertising for him, and I'm not affiliated really with him, but you can pay $450 for an hour and a half block time to learn from him.
Huh.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of dough. Yeah.
How much of that time, Michael, do you think I could be sitting there just going,
Right.
I asked a student a question, and I just think.
That's what I said
about my proper
response. I think that's a fair assessment. No, because I think James and I talked about that, and then I think we talked about maybe just instead of doing that for with like Ryan Benjamin, where 20 or 30 minutes would just be talking and the gift of gab or whatever.
Yeah.
You can spend less money to take a full course over at the Joe Kubert School, where you have more time to work on your craft, right? Because I mean, I can't really do too much with an hour and a half to draw in the first place. So if I'm going to try to get feedback, I'm going to be getting feedback on stick figures, right? Rather than like fully developed drawings. And so it'd be nice to have the fully developed drawing. And then if you're at the Joe Kubert School, you can send it to whoever, like an industry professional, maybe Andy, maybe Adam, maybe whoever's, that's still teaching there. And then you can kind of take your time, assimilate more for less. So, but yeah, if you want to teach, go ahead, man.
I should do it.
I would charge more.
I think I need to like change my wardrobe. I need a different hat, I think is what it is. But real quick, Mikkel, she's on board with my South Park episode. How do I reach these kids? It's been a while since I've seen that one. And Chris says, sorry, Steve, you cannot have Doctor and King. That's already taken. It's been a minute, though. I feel like it's running its course in the public eye. I feel like I could jump on those. Either of them, really. But Chris, if I have any of these that survive, I might have to find more because I'm down to my last one. But this is a bourbon barrel-aged rye beer. If I can find any more, I'll see if I can't smuggle some in to the show Friday or Saturday.
There you go.
They're very, very good. He says, not trying to burst your bubble, but as full supporter of the cult, it is my duty to protect you from yourself. By the way, guys, we're starting a cult.
Nice.
We're kind of already in it. So
cool.
I've had some people ask about the mentorship thing, and have any of you guys been a mentor or a paid mentor?
I've not been a paid mentor. I have been asked, and when it came time to pull the trigger on it, I was the kid was no longer as interested, I guess. So, so yeah,
like piano lessons.
Yeah, right. That was exactly what it was. Yeah.
Is Michael using like a coat hanger for his Wi-Fi?
He's got some severe internet issues over by him. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Mikkel, have you been considering doing the paid mentorship? I think I haven't really considered it until now because I feel like teaching like a class. I don't know how I feel about that, but doing
Me personally, the issue I have is it takes a different level of ego in your ability to do what you're doing to be a successful teacher. At least I think. Whereas like I am very, very wishy-washy with how that works for me. There are days where I'm like, I'm a sweet artist. I'm gonna kill this piece. It's gonna be amazing. And then the next day, it could be the next day. It could be 2 days later. It'd be like, God, I suck. I'm the worst artist in the entire history. I need to be so much better.
Literally be 5 minutes later. Like,
yeah, right.
Did I forget how to draw?
Yeah, it happens. Right. And then to be like, for me to be in front of somebody and then have that moment, like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, I wouldn't know how to process that, I guess. I think it's easier if you're doing like one-on-one. I think it's a lot easier because then you can like have that back and forth with the person. But to do like a class like a mentorship class would be kind of very difficult.
Yeah. Mikkel says, ha 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 ha. I'd be a terrible mentor. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing.
I don't think any of us do.
I think that's my deep concern is that if I have to explain how I do what I do to anybody, I'm gonna be like, listen, I mostly just scribble and then fix it with a whiteout pen.
Yeah.
That's when I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah.
And my anatomy sometimes gets made up a little bit. Perspective, I kind of BS it from time to time.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
That's me, James. I have no clue what I'm doing. I stumble my way through every project and am a sack of self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me too, is like giving myself enough time. I feel like I can draw just about anything, but
Yeah.
I have to be on a call with you and like explain stuff. I'm not sure I'm the guy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I even have a hard time with that sometimes with streams where I'm just be in the middle of streaming and then like I'll be all of a sudden like all flustered, like I forgot what I was doing,
No.
artistically wise. And I'm like, but I'm like trying to have a conversation with myself kind of about it
no.
by, in the sense of entertaining other people who aren't watching at the moment. You know what I mean? So it's difficult. It is difficult.
There's something to be said about when you have a camera rolling and potentially people watching you that like you gotta get your act together.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, teaching. I don't know. It wasn't really on my radar, but I feel like this is a mentorship. Might be the best first step into me starting the cult. Yes.
You recruit that way.
Yeah. Public speaking. Now, I don't know that any conventions would be like, "Hey, Steve, we want to throw money at you to run a thing." But I've thought about doing a what you want to call those.
Panels?
Like a panel, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thought about doing a panel.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it too.
Yeah? What have you been thinking about?
I don't know what I would do, but I would like to do a panel at some point. I just think that if you do panels, it gives you a different level of like kind of recognition almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people that might be watching the panel might not have necessarily walked by your table.
No.
So you know what I mean? Like it almost gives you like a little bit extra visibility at shows.
No.
Meanwhile, you're not at your table, but
No.
yeah, I don't know. I just been thinking about it. I don't know what kind of panel I would jump on or what I would do. There's a million topics really that you could do.
Yeah, I feel like so the only panels I've done over the last 4 years, I did some sketch duels. You get half an hour to draw whatever the audience suggests and you get to answer questions.
Yeah.
Like those are fun. If anything, like it'd be kind of cool to kind of like host one of those, I guess. That being said, even that having 4 artists, some of them were like big name in the industry. Like I was right next to Chrissy Zolo for one of those, and she's done stuff for years for Marvel, DC, like you name it.
Oh wow.
And we still didn't have a full room. We had like 20 people in there.
Oh yeah.
That being said, some of the folks that came to the sketch duels early on, they're like some of my biggest supporters now.
Oh, that's cool.
So I don't know that it's the best use of my time at a convention.
Yeah.
I just feel like I have a God-given ability to not shut up. I just talk, and I think I like to hear myself talk, hence the microphone and the camera and a podcast. And I'm going to just rattle on about anything, really.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you, man. I
like literally, you're right here with me.
Stuff. Yeah. Literally,
you're literally right here with me. This could be a sign that, like, maybe we have some deeply flawed personality disorder that we just like to hear ourselves talk.
Dude, maybe we should bring this show to panels, right? At shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
We can do that. And I figure out what we're going to talk about 5 minutes before we go on.
Right. Yeah. Hey, that's okay.
Well, thanks, Mikkel. I would do a panel 100% talking about why Mikkel doesn't think that she would be a good mentor. That would be my first panel.
There you go.
That would be the title of it. This is why Mikkel thinks that she wouldn't be a good mentor.
You would have one person go to that panel.
Well, the awkward part wouldn't be Mikkel. Like she wouldn't be up there. She would be so pissed at me, and she says no. Yeah, I feel like I would have to do like troll panels, like panels where I don't actually address anything that anyone wants to hear.
Yeah.
With very ambiguous titles. It's like you almost want to just go see what it's about. And then once you're in that room, you're like, God, if I get up and leave, like it's gonna be really obvious that I'm leaving this panel,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the anxiety is bullet point number 2 on the reasons why you would not be a mentor during my speech. All right. So this guy, this Inkwell guy, he goes on.
Yeah.
Like, he must like listening to himself too. You know,
Yeah.
he's got a channel. He's got editors. He talks about YouTube being revenue, sponsorships.
Yeah, that one's tough.
If I could just get someone to give me money and not necessarily have to do anything different.
Yeah. If you ever listen to Gary Vee, he says it's just email 100 or 1,000 people, and you're gonna get at least one person that wants to listen, at least listen to your pitch about it. And I'm like, that's not a bad idea.
Do you have to have a pitch? Because I wouldn't have a pitch.
I mean, you need to have something to tell them, like why they're investing in you. Like, hey, I want to be an artist. Can you give me money? You know.
Are you saying I shouldn't do that?
No, you should do that.
Because that might be the pitch.
Yeah, that's probably the pitch. But
like, listen,
hey, you know,
I need to draw stuff. You make stuff that you can draw with. I don't see where this business relationship's ours.
right,
Like, this is about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
I do 30 shows a year. People watch me draw all the time. And wouldn't it be great if I was eating a Subway sandwich when I was doing that? And I could just hold that Subway sandwich.
Hey, you know, we should you know, reach out to like QAnon or XP Pen or something. You know, we could get a sponsorship that way, or you know, an affiliate or something. Man, you never know.
I'm thinking more like food. You know, like if I could get a Domino's. Domino's is everywhere. Yeah, like
eating pizza while you're on stream. Yeah. Get yourself a slice of Domino's, guys.
Yeah, everyone likes to rag on Domino's, but I'm telling you, they have good stuff on the menu. You just gotta know what to order. I could have my own like sub menu on the menu. It's like
there you go.
Special.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, you get like your own little like little thing that goes on your keychain that I hate. The little loyalty club thing that everybody has.
They still do that? I didn't know they still do.
Dude, it has gotten more obnoxious. So all these goddamn gas stations everywhere.
Oh,
it's like, oh, you want Monster? You can get like 3 for $5.50, or they're like $4 a piece. When you get up to the register, it's like, oh, by the way, we're not. When you go to ring out, you would normally just get the discount.
Mm-hmm.
They just casually say, oh, do you have your 7-Eleven card? Do you have your whatever card? And you're like, no, I don't have one of those. And then they just ring it through and like, okay, it'll be like $20. Am I buying drugs? Like, what is happening here? And they're like, oh no, you have to have the card. I'm like, well, how do I get a card? And they're like, oh well, here you can have this one. It's like, you were just going to charge me $20 for 3 cans of pure liquid death.
Hey, you gotta pay top dollar to die early.
And all I had to say was, how do I get that card? And you're like, oh, here you go. Like, you were about to rip me off for like $15.
Mm-hmm.
There's more and more gas stations now where they used to just give you the Speedway. Used to just give you the discount. Now you got to have Speedway card. Put that on your keychain. Sheets. You want to get the discount at Sheets? Guess what? You got to have the card.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I've got more freaking cards.
I have all those.
Goddamn keychain, and I have keys.
I just put my phone number in though. I throw the cards out.
I don't feel like you're hearing how angry I am.
I'm hearing you. Just throw the cards out.
I am enraged.
Use your phone number.
I'm enraged. I'm not giving them my phone number. I'm not getting the app.
Give them your email address then.
No, because then they're just selling the info. Then I'm just give me the discount. Just give me the discount.
I feel like you're being difficult.
I'm being difficult. The mere fact, here's my big problem is that like if I did have to like log in and activate a thing, okay, I get it. Like I should have done that before I went to 7-Eleven, I guess. Didn't cross my mind when I was getting ready today that I need to go apply to be part of a cult at 7-Eleven.
Dude, Dollar General. That's Dollar. Like they don't just give you the card like and ask for information. You have to go and sign up for it. And I've never done that. But you could save a lot of money if you do that. I've just never done that.
Plasma. What do they do with your blood? I don't know.
Yeah.
They have it now, though.
Yeah. You have to sign up ahead of time on the app. It has to be on the app. They don't do it on the website. You have to download the app, put in your information, create an account. I'm like, that's too much work for me to shop at Dollar General.
I'm going to start asking people at my booth, oh, do you have a membership card? Oh, you don't? Oh, it's 5 times as much. Sorry, that was the discount price you saw up there. It's
That
actually
might work.
$150.
That might work.
And they're like,
I mean-
oh, what do I have to do to get it? I'm like, oh, well, actually, I'll just give you the membership card. You think someone won't want to punch me in the face, like literally on the spot?
Yeah, the deal is you get 3 for $20 if you sign up for my card. Otherwise, they're $20 each.
Yeah. Yeah, they're twice as much now. They're 5 times as much.
That might work. Who knows? And then we have email addresses of people who might like our stuff.
Yep. And then I'll sell to some,
marketing
firm and be like,
yeah,
here's
right.
a target demographic of people who don't like getting ripped off. Good luck with that. It is so where was the worst was what was it? There's some gas station that apparently got bought out by 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
When you go in, I forget what it was. I don't know if it's Speedway or whatever, but when you go in, all their credit card readers say 7-Eleven now. And you're like, oh, we actually we need the 7-Eleven card now. I'm like, so you don't do the Speedway card or whatever it is? And like, no, you gotta have 7-Eleven. I'm like, well, give me another fucking keychain. I swear to God, dude. It's like, I don't know what to do.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I wonder what would happen if you just said yes. Like I say, do you have your membership card? And just say yes.
And then they're like,
hey, we need to scan that. I'm like, well, we're gonna have a problem with that. I'm not letting you scan that. There's nothing that says you have to scan my card. I'm also a sovereign citizen. I'm the guy that's getting ripped out of the by the police out of my car when I'm telling them that they can't arrest me.
Oh,
yeah, that's me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, so sponsorships, we've already concluded that we will be getting food-related sponsorships. That's going to save some serious money.
Yeah, let's do it. Send 1,000 emails. Let's go.
Get sponsored by 7-Eleven. You know how rad that would be?
After our rant about it.
Oh, jealous. Like, I've got, Ryan Kincaid. Like, I know him. We're not like buddies or whatever, but, we had at shows, that sort of thing. Good dude. Very helpful. At any rate, he got sponsored by Olo Markers.
Oh yeah, that's going around a lot. They're doing that a lot. Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Yeah,
I want free markers. They cost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
They take time to fill. He's getting them for free.
Yeah.
All he has to do, to my understanding, is occasionally be like, check it out. # Olo Markers. Here's a drawing I made. Looks great. Good job, Ryan. How jealous would all the artists be if they're like, oh, did you hear Messenger? Sponsored by Quick Trip. He gets brisket tacos when he stops to get gas for free. He gets nachos for free. And no one gives a shit about your markers anymore. Like, how do I get free brisket tacos? Dude, get sponsored by Buc-ee's. That would be amazing. See, Chris is already pissed off.
I don't even have one of these by me.
Yeah. Just ask if they have a AAA membership for discounts. I need to get a AAA membership. Dude, what if AAA sponsored me? Like, guess what? Steve gets towed whenever.
Yeah.
I don't need to Uber.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, food sponsors, if we could get beer sponsors, even better. Like, sign me up.
I actually might be able to get you a
don't tease me.
Whiskey sponsor, maybe.
Don't tease me.
I might be able to do that.
What whiskey?
It's a company down the street here. They're looking for the people with
brand recognition.
It's
brand recognition right here.
Literally forgetting. I'll hit them up.
Dude. Make it happen.
I'll make it happen.
If I could get a whiskey sponsorship, forget hot dogs and nachos. Steve's getting drunk for free.
Yeah.
They'll probably send me like t-shirts.
And then we can do a drink and draw sponsored by
God.
Yada Yada. Yeah.
My liver failure brought to you by Acme Whiskey.
Yeah, there you go.
Affiliate marketing. He's using honey. Isn't honey?
No. He's talking about the scam with honey. He lost money affiliate marketing this last year. He thinks it's because of the honey scam.
I'm glad you watched this video.
Yeah, dude, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered. I was like, this looks fun. We'll watch it on the stream, and I don't feel like watching it.
Yeah, I I do my walk on the treadmill, and this is what I do on my treadmill walk is I watch stuff like this all the time.
Ovaltine, please.
I want my Ovaltine. Is that still a thing?
I don't. Yoo-hoo is. Yoo-hoo is like the spiritual competitor of Ovaltine. It's got to be around, right?
Yeah.
What's the creator funds?
That one that's for YouTube and stuff. I think.
No one makes money on YouTube.
He makes a little bit.
Switching tax services can be a trap.
Galleries. So I've had some buddies talk about doing galleries, and it sounds like an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and they take like 20% or so. Yeah, it's pretty hefty.
Which 20% isn't bad.
Yeah.
Some of these lifestyle guys that I work with are taking more than 20%, but then it's like, it's more or less free money. It's like you didn't have to do much to sell it. It's like their commission.
Right.
It sucks when you start doing the math where it's like, well, then you take 30% out for taxes or so. And then it's like, okay, well, half my money's gone. At the same day or same point, the stuff was just laying around, not selling itself. So the more that he talks about like ways to make money, like consignment and wholesale, it just sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's trying to be very general because there's more than like just us type of artists, right? You have artists that create things and like craft things and whatever. So
that sounds lame.
We just like to doodle on paper and print it out and sell the paper. But yeah, I mean, I think he's, and then he talks about doing video game design and stuff. So and how he's looking for a video game designer potentially or artist or something. So yeah, and then he goes into expenses. Now the expenses. This where he goes. So remember, like I think his overall he started off at like around $200,000-ish for the year. Yeah. Pay attention.
I'm not gonna watch it. How much did he spend?
He ends up walking away after taxes with about $67,000 or $70,000.
Sounds about right.
After taxes and expenses.
Now here's the deal, though. Like his expenses, just looking through, because he flies to a lot of these things. You got way more because you probably want to stay at a hotel in walking distance or connected. You're going to be eating a lot of food especially if you're staying connected to a convention center. You're not going to like Aldi's to get like cheap canned goods. You're probably spending 40, 50, 60 bucks a night on food just for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then he also has helpers. I think he's got like 2 helpers and he pays a crap ton of money to every time he goes to a show. So yeah, he spent like $30,000 on helpers for the year. It was like outrageous. I was like, that's insane.
See, that's why I'm trying to start this cult. Because then I can just tell them that to stay in my good graces, they have to do the things I'm telling them to do.
Perfect.
Already got that one figured out.
Yeah. Perfect. Can I be a leader where I can get somebody too? That'd be great. I'd be
You're
all
asking
for
too
it.
much.
Right.
So taxes, how high are sales tax? Yeah, Ohio, depending on which county you're in, and then the state taxes and all that stuff, it can add up. It's funny that they got Tennessee like in the dark red, but Tennessee also has no income tax, I believe. So
that's cool.
For a couple more percent on sales tax, you don't have to pay income tax.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yep. Montana, man, look at that. No taxes to speak of.
That's interesting.
Yeah. What's in Montana?
I have no idea.
Yeah, no one does.
Mountains.
I would imagine if you're in Montana, you could look around and be like, are we in Montana right now? Like, are we still in Montana? Did we end up in a Dakota by accident? But Mikkel's taking off. Got to bounce. Good luck this weekend at Cleveland.
Hey, good luck.
Planet.
Good luck.
I feel like everybody and their brother, except for Chris and myself, are going to be at Planet Comic-Con this weekend.
Heard of that one. Where's that at?
Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Windy City.
This is how dumb I am. I couldn't remember if Kansas City was actually in Kansas.
Oh.
Because there's some of those cities that are named after a state.
Yeah, that's a good
point. But they're not in that. So is Kansas City actually in Kansas?
I don't know.
See?
I just assumed it was.
Yeah. I forget what there's one of those cities that's like that, and it's embarrassing. Yeah, see, Missouri.
Oh. Okay.
And if you would have asked me 10 minutes ago, I would have thought MO was Montana. Even with this map here. Dude, that whole are you smarter than a fifth grader? The answer is no.
Now when it comes to geography, it's crazy. We should know our geography because we have to travel these places, but no idea.
Yeah, I've only gotten dumber. It's kind of embarrassing.
It's the sleepless nights drawing. That's what it is.
Yeah. I came up with this phrase that kind of justifies my state of existence, and I just say I'm prioritized differently.
Okay.
And I said that at a show once to somebody, kind of in a joking manner. I'm like, I just say I'm prioritized differently, and that's my excuse to do whatever it is I want to do. And this woman, she stops. She's like, I like that. Prioritize differently.
Oh God.
Yeah. And then she started to go off on a monologue. I'm like, I'm supposed to be talking. And she's just like, yeah, some people when they get up, they want to do A, B, and C, but I'm already working on. I'm like, I feel like I just ruined this woman's life for free. I should have been charging a mentorship.
There you go. That's one of the pieces of advice. That could be your leading thing that you say when you do your mentorship.
Oh, I'm about to drop another nugget for free that I should be charging for. And Chris says, grew up in Illinois. We referred to misery as I just said it twice. Missouri as misery.
That's funny.
I'll tell you what. Here in Ohio, we would call it misery. So I was a manager for the previous company for probably around 12 years, from supervisor on up, lead to a supervisor or whatever.
Yeah.
And over time, you kind of learn how to compartmentalize stress, right? And you triage, what can you do versus you start to learn after a while that you really don't need to panic about anything. You really don't. Panic. You get a lot of that early on because you're like, I don't want to mess up. I don't want anybody I don't want anyone to be mad. You go through the list mentally in your head of all those things. And I kind of came up with a 3-step process, right? So for anyone that's new to management, I tell them, there's a 3-step process. Number 1 is panic. It usually gets a laugh. I can see it didn't work on you. That's fine. But they're like, I'm already panicking. I'm like, I can tell. You're doing step number 1. Step number 2 is get your shit together. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, whatever you got to do. Do you need to talk to your mom? Do you need to go on a walk? Do you need whatever it is that you need to do? Get yourself in a mental state that you're now ready to do step 3. I'm like, okay, what's step 3? I say, step 3 is do something about it. I'm like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what do you think you need to do? And every time they would tell me, well, we probably need to do this, 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 and this. I said, okay. The more you do the 3-step process and you allow yourself to panic and you allow yourself to have a process to deal with said panic, chances are you already knew what you had to do the whole time. You're just panicking because you feel like you're under the gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally had a management trainee go to corporate and start sharing that with everybody.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Check out what one of my managers told me. It works great. I'm like, please don't share that at corporate anymore. You can't have me have word going around that Steve's telling management trainees to get their shit together.
That's funny.
But it works. It works. So in conclusion, let's hear what he has to say when he's wearing a fez.
Really liked having a boss. I liked being at home and painting my little pictures in convention.
Enough of that. Did anybody else want to watch? If you want to watch the rest, go follow Inkwell.
Yeah.
Chap.
He does have some good videos. I mean, especially if you're looking at getting into the bigger convention scenes. He talks about he's got even a video where he rates some of the conventions that he's done, some of the bigger shows he's done. So none of them within my reach of doing in the next 3 years, I will tell you.
Yeah, I looked at that video and I'm like, some of those I never even heard of, and then some of them being more like the anime shows. I'm like,
yeah. He's a slightly different niche than we are for sure. And like he's like does original concept art is what he does now. He used to do fan art. He doesn't do fan art anymore. So I'm surprised that he still makes as much as he makes doing, illustrations and designs, but I guess it's how he puts it on product is I guess what makes the difference.
it's probably selling drugs.
Yes.
Probably selling drugs. Lucas T spit out golden wisdom nuggets. I've long had to believe you'd make an amazing motivational speaker. Chris, that is why you're ascending the ranks of the points of the crown. We'll have to get you an upgraded cape to wear at the next show. Let's take a few minutes just to reflect on our lives and then also talk about our Kickstarters.
Sure.
Let's see. I'm going to pull up a couple buddies here real quick. Got a buddy of mine I met early on by the name of Rob. What's Rob's last name? Couldn't tell you. I know him as Rob.
Multari.
Rob Multari. Did you just make that up?
No, it's something like that. It's I might be murdering the. Yeah, there it is. Multari.
There it is. I'm like,
Yeah.
did you just?
No. I met him at Baltimore that we were both at.
He's a good dude, and he is almost at goal. He has 8 days to go. So, guys, if you are looking for some really great art and a really great story, Night Wolf is available on Kickstarter. Jump in before it closes up. Help him get to his goal. Definitely a good dude. And Kickstarter loves it. They'll never do that for one of mine because they don't love me because they know better. We got that one. The Stan Lee thing still going on. Choose your own adventure with that. I've also got another buddy by the name of Gus Mock that his just jumped up. He is at 7,800 pinup collection. I actually did a cover for this. If we scroll down, there's going to be lots of ladies. Where's my cover? There we go. Did a little Felicia and Morgan from Darkstalkers. Jump on that one. Get that book. It'll be good. Be good for the collection.
Sick.
Yeah, we did a little trade, so he's gonna be doing some stuff for me at some point, I think. And then you, James, you have a Kickstarter as well.
Thank you.
Do one more pitch for it while we're here.
Yeah. So they're just trading card art that you can get all of the work I've done up until this point, and even some that I have not shown off quite yet are in this set as trading cards. I've designed them all, formatted them all pretty and nice. And we have all sorts of things going down. We got holographics, we got normal cards, we have metal cards.
Like a custom deck box that you put together here too, right?
Yeah, so I'm designing a deck box. That's just an image that I put together. That's not what the final product is going to look like. So I'm actually designing that with some art on it and obviously my logo, so you can fit the entire deck into it. Is what I'm looking to do. So yeah.
The answer is both, Michael. and Chris is already on it. See, Chris, that's why you're moving up the ranks so quickly.
Yes, the answer is yes.
This for being your first Kickstarter, man, this looks incredible. You've done a fantastic job putting it together.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I have backed it myself. You should back it too. All of these that you see that we've presented here tonight, I have also backed. I wouldn't, except for the Stan Lee one. Stan Lee. Not sure how I feel about that one.
Yeah.
Choose your own adventure, but definitely jump on these. You got some great, very accessible, $20 for the new card trader pack. You got some digital options. You got metal card options. Guys, definitely check this out, especially if you're looking to get some custom art done.
Yeah.
This is a great way to get some custom art from the bank. If you do want to break the bank.
Cool commission add-ons and stuff. Yep.
Yeah. If you do want to break the bank, come over and support me. I do have full-size commissions Alice in Slaughterland is chugging along. We are $12 away from a stretch goal.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I was very aggressive with stretch goals for this one. Doing them at the every 1,000 on the 500, we'll say. So at 3,500, there's going to be a free bookmark for everybody. Everyone's already getting a free Alice button and a free 5x7 print. And as you can see, every time we hit that milestone of another 1,000 on the 500s, we'll say, we get another free thing that goes into your little pouch.
Hell yeah.
Is that a weird way to phrase that? It goes in your little pouch. But that is running. We've got a couple weeks left on that. 17 days to go. Time is flying.
Yeah.
But guys, definitely want to jump on that. What else to say? I do have a couple more conventions coming up. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I will be at Fan Expo Cleveland. That's GalaxyCon. Sorry, guys. Share this tab instead. Cleveland's going to have some big name guests. Adam Savage is going to be there. They're going to have the Impala with Sam and the Impala.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know what that's from.
He draws a crowd. Jared Padalecki, he draws a crowd. Yeah.
Well, I don't. So come see him and then come see me.
And then buy some cool stuff from Steve. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the dudes that plays the Flash is going to be there. Is this Charlie Cox going to be there? Is he going to be there?
He must, man. I don't know. Yeah, he's on two different things for it. So
I should probably look at their website or
cool.
something.
Yeah, maybe
Dude,
I might make a trip out to Cleveland this weekend.
I mean, it's got some big names.
Yeah, I'd love to see Charlie Cox and then stop by you and then say hello. Although you're always busy, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll see you. I probably have a higher chance of seeing Charlie than you.
Yeah, come see me on Friday.
Yeah.
Friday will be historically a slow day for Cleveland, but
nice.
I think it'll be good though. I think it'll be good. So following Cleveland, I will be going to, I think it's Richmond next.
Oh, nice.
I think it is. Share this tab instead. So yeah, what is this? The weekend of the... God, I'm so bad at this. I should know where I'm going and what I'm doing. March 27th to 30th. Yeah. You get to meet Dora, the Explorer.
That's cool.
If you've ever wanted to meet someone that says the same thing to you 3 times for the sake of repetition, you can ask her a question and hear it 3 times.
Swiper, no swiping.
What is going on with this convention? We got Barney.
Oh my God. What is happening? They must be trying to get kids in or something, or nostalgic 90s, 2000s kids. I don't know, man. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Well, I know the dude that plays Steve from Blue's Clues is always a hit.
Yeah.
So we go from Dora and Barney to wrestling. We got Jim Ross. We've got Booker T. I don't know who some of these other guys are. Oh, we got some horror. So Richmond will be a good time. That's a 4-day show now. But while you're at Cleveland, swing by and see Ben. If you come, you literally can't not walk by my booth at Cleveland. I'm right at the entrance again.
Nice.
So if you need a flask to put your whiskey in, dude, if I could get sponsored by Whiskey Company and then have Ben get me some flasks to put that whiskey in.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I think I actually still have a few of those flasks left that he got me from the last batch, but I will be giving away art for free. I'll be feeling that good.
Nice.
And then last but not least, for this run of shows, unless C2E2 gets back to me, we will also have Awesome Con in DC. I'm already stressed out about this one. There's no reason to be stressed out. It'll be fine. It's just going to be
just get your shit together.
Yeah, just got to get my shit together. There's just a lot of hoops you got to jump through I got to make sure I got my business license for DC.
Ooh, whoops. Yeah.
They have so many hoops to jump through. But they're going to have people there. You should see them. I will be there. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. So, James, I think we covered quite a bit here tonight.
We
I
did.
think our audience had a great time, even though half of them left and more came in. I think we've properly irradiated them with knowledge.
Yes.
You feel good about this?
I do. I feel good. I feel like, and we'll come back next week with all sorts of things to talk about.
Well, that being said, I'm going to be on the road.
Oh,
So I
man.
got to see if I can broadcast from the hotel. I might have to get creative.
All right.
But I don't want to go another stretch where I'm missing shows left and right. So
Yeah.
Yep. So guys, thanks for hanging out. Chris will see
Yeah.
you in Cleveland. I'll see if I can get some of these rye beers. They are so good, but they're limited quantity because they're that says limited run.
Nice.
So see what we can do. Guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.
Don't forget to hit that like button.
Yeah, the like button. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh, just power. I like it.